AITAH for making a little girl cry at the hospital? I've been in the hospital past few days with my grandmother. She's on life support and it isn't looking good. I've gotten probably 6 hours of sleep combined within the past 3 days, so I'm pretty cranky. I have a 4-month-old that I've been avoiding taking to the hospital because of germs, but I had to bring her for an hour while my mom came to get her. We stayed in the waiting room because I don't think babies can be in the ICU, plus I wouldn't want her there anyway. A little girl, maybe 2 or 3, was in the waiting room too. It was just my family and hers, and there were about 4 or 5 people in her group and 15 in mine. I know it's a lot, but we thought my grandmother was about to pass any moment at this time. Anyway, this little girl started taking my niece's dolls at first and not giving them back. Then screaming her head off and trying to go into the ICU. Her family would just tell her to come back to them and she would for a moment then go right back to it. She started crawling on top of my brother-in-law and he was getting super annoyed. Then she noticed me holding my baby and came to look at her, which I didn't mind. My baby is 4 months now and loves grabbing at toys and chewing on everything. Now this little girl started pulling the toys out of my baby's hands repeatedly, and her mom from across the room just kept saying, "Lana, give it back," but she wasn't listening. This went on for like 5 minutes until she grabbed my baby's hand again and very roughly tried pulling her fingers from off her toy. Babies always have a tight grip on everything, so she started pulling hard. I said loudly and pretty pissed off, "No, this isn't yours, go back to your mom." She started crying a little and ran to her mom, who was obviously pissed off. She said, "You have no right talking to my daughter that way," and I replied, "If you would watch your kid, I wouldn't have to." And that was that. My family is on my side because they were getting pretty annoyed too. She also threw one of those hard water balls at my elderly uncle and it hit him in the chest. I feel like I'm in the right, but I have a really bad guilty feeling in my chest for talking to somebody else's kid like that and making them cry. AITAH?